Welcome to another episode of Alchemist in the Matrix. I have with me today Tatiana. So how did we meet?
Hey, hello. Thank you first, anything for inviting me. It's an honor. Yes, we met in Rival Gym. I was the fitness manager over there. Yes, I remember when you said to me, I am going to Colombia, and after this we did a click straight away. My roots are from Colombia, and I'm very proud Colombia. I think all Colombians, we are really proud. So yeah, this is the way that we met, right?
Yeah, well, I picked up the accent straight away. I was like, are you Colombian? And then I was like, I'm going there next month. And then, we just started talking about Colombia, and
Yeah.
been so helpful. Give me tips and pointers and...
I give you some contacts. I say, be
Contacts.
careful. Yes, I remember I give you a Uber driver. I hope that he helped you with the travesty over there. How was it? Yeah?
I was
That's
going to
good?
use him to go to Guatapé, but then
Yeah.
his car broke down.
Oh my
so
God.
then I ended up just taking an Uber. But it's okay, super cheap there anyway.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
not as dangerous as people make out to be.
That's good. And I am happy that you actually talk about this because Colombia have a bad reputation. And it's sad that many people actually, they don't give it the opportunity or the chance to go there because they say, oh my God, it's so dangerous. It's like everything in life, you know what I mean? So many people, a lot of people, like have scared to things and didn't try or have a chance. And this is what is happening even in life, you know? We need to just create our own experience and opinions and don't let anyone just put things in our brain and say this is bad and you just scared and be afraid and don't experience things. So I'm very happy that you actually enjoy Colombia.
Because I had family and friends ring me up and say, hey, just want to give you a tip, be careful. It's like, how can you give me a tip
You've never
to be
been-
careful? You've never been there. Right?
Exactly. First than anything, this is good. Yes.
Yeah, and then I had it in my head that I couldn't bring my camera or my laptop because people would poach it, and I see videos online saying, hey, be careful with your phone because they'll snatch it. And it's not, where I stayed, it wasn't like that at all. I never felt that I was in any danger of being robbed. But then I heard people who had gone to Bogota and said completely different things. So I think
Yes.
just Medellin, where I stayed, it was very peaceful and very,
Yeah.
very foreigner friendly. So.
It's amazing. You know that Medellin is the eternal spring. They told you about it?
No.
You know, because in like Colombia, many people doesn't know, but Colombia doesn't have like seasons. Like, you know, like we have here winter, summer, you know. Over there is all the time, the weather is the same because we are close to the Ecuador, parallel of Ecuador.
Right.
So our weather is the same. But if you go to Medellin, it's like a spring all the time. So can you imagine live in a place that is a spring? That for me, a spring is my favorite season, right? Because it's the perfect weather. It's not so hot, it's not so cold. So Medellin have all the time the same weather. It's the spring.
But it's not too hot though because it's at the base of the mountains.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's a perfect weather.
Yeah.
So this help. Plus, like the culture, like the food. Yes.
So when did you come to Australia?
I came to Australia 10 years ago. Yeah.
Did you come here for a holiday and never go back, or did you meet
My story is so
someone?
funny. It's really funny. And this is what I say, you know, life is unpredictable. I came, very honest with you, I was with a boyfriend at this time. And he said, I am going to Australia for study English. I said, oh, what? I am going with you. And he said, no, you are not going with me. You stay here and you wait for me. And I say, no, I am going with you, you know, like Colombian, very toxic woman. So I actually just came here for him, thanks to him. I always be grateful to came to this country because in my idea, I always say, I am Colombian, I born in this country and I will die here. My mentality was like very close. So I never actually wondering what was outside Colombia. So anyway, so I came here just chasing him. This is my truth. And I came here and long story short, he didn't lie here. He wasn't like, yeah, it's not for everybody, I guess, like, you know, like life here is completely different over there. And in my case, I fall in love with Australia. So yeah, I stay here and he returned to Colombia. So this is my story, yeah.
And then you got into the fitness industry?
Yeah, so actually it was, yeah, like my, look, I start because I start in Zumba. I teach in Zumba, you know Zumba?
The dance.
Yes, the
workout.
dance. So I start because I love dance. And this was something that I miss from my country because everything is about dance in Colombia. And here, like, you don't go to a club and you just dance. It's really hard, like go and find a person that want dance with you. So I was missing this part of dance. So I said, you know what, I will become a teacher, a dance teacher. So I did my course, whatever, and I started teaching Zumba. So I started my fitness journey like this. And after this, I just been for all the fitness industry. So I've been trying. I teach Pilates, I teach yoga, I teach high intensity interval training as well. I am personal trainer. And yes, I discovered through this journey that my passion is have a healthy lifestyle. So yes, and now I'm health coach. And yeah, I'm very happy. I love my job. And I find through this journey my mission in life. And it's have a happy, healthy, and divine life. This is my mantra. And this is what my idea is, like, inspire people to have a happy, healthy, and divine life. Yeah.
So, what out of everything, what's your favorite thing to teach?
Wow, this is hard actually, because I teach, like I said to you, a lot of things like yoga, Pilates. I teach low pressure fitness. Low pressure fitness is hypopressive exercises that is more about breath workout. But for me, if you say, Tatiana, choose one, I will say Pilates maybe. I really like Pilates because it's more mind and body connection. Yoga for me is a little bit slow. Pilates is a little bit more dynamic. So actually I really like Pilates. Yeah.
I tried Pilates for the first time last week, but it was by accident. I rocked up to a stretching class.
Okay.
And the lady Nushin who does the stretching, which is pretty much yoga.
Yeah.
I go there on the Tuesday nights, but I happened to come in on a Monday night and the class was arriving for Pilates at the same time.
Okay.
And so she looked at me and said, "Are you joining the class?" I said, "Oh, no, I didn't realize there was a yoga today." And she goes, "No, come join the class, join the class." So I said, "Okay," and got ready. And about 5 minutes into the class, I realized it wasn't yoga. And
you were trick.
I was tricked.
For mistake.
And I said, "Is this Pilates?" She said yes. And I enjoyed it. And I'm not going to go back to that anytime soon. But
why?
Well,
What's tough?
I realized
tough,
that
how do you think?
I don't have a lot of stabilizing strength in my legs.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Even though I do a lot of running, to do like the leg ups and the scissors
Yes.
I don't have good core strength.
Yeah.
But I have a strong mindset.
Okay.
So that's what, like, do you remember the planking challenge at the gym?
Yes, I create, yes, with the plate, the 10 kgs, yeah.
I thought it was 20 kilos.
20 for men,
guys.
sorry, and for the ladies 10, yeah.
So the girl at reception, just before you walked in, she said, "Hey, it's the last day of the planking challenge."
Yeah.
And I looked at the times on the board, and the longest on the board was 2 minutes. And I thought, oh, well, I can smash that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was with the weight.
With the weight.
But I still did 3 minutes.
You won! You are the winner! Yes, I remember. Yeah.
3 minutes and then I collapsed. But without the weight, I've been pushing myself recently. And when I came back from Colombia, I hadn't done planking. I hadn't worked out in almost 2 months. And the first plank I did was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I didn't eat for a week. So
you didn't eat?
I didn't eat for a week, so I lost 5 kilos. So I came back and then I pushed it. I did 15 minutes.
Wow.
And then a week after that, I did 20 minutes.
Okay.
And that seems to be my limit. So now
Huge record.
20 minutes, and I don't do many sit-ups. I don't have abs. It's just mindset. And I tell myself, this is the amount this is the length of time I'm going to go for. I'm either going to collapse or I'm going to make it to that time and then stop. And once I have that built in my head, I just go through the pain.
Yeah.
At 3 minutes, it starts to really hurt.
Yes.
But that's it. Everything else from anything after 3 minutes until I stop, it's the same level of intense pain.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt any more or less. I just have to zone out.
Yeah. No, this is the truth, like I said to you, like people think that Pilates is only for girls and look easy and you know what I mean. I said to people, in my classes, actually, I have bodybuilders. And they join and say, Tatiana, this is really hard. This is the toughest exercise I've ever done in my life. Bodybuilders are sweating, like, and shaking, with the legs, And that's funny because, you realize, it's more tough than you think, but it's a lot of core. It's everything about core. So Pilates is core strength, and core is not only the abs like people think. Core is part of the glutes and the low back. So it's very essential. If you want to see if a person is strong, just look the core. If the core is strong, you are a strong person. But if it's weak, you will have low back problems, and you will have knees problems. Is everything very important in the body, and everything is connected, and even the core starts from the strength of your feet, and people doesn't know, you know what I mean? So it's a big thing that I always invite to people. Just try, don't say no, just try, and if you don't like, that's okay, but just try. Just one class of Pilates, why not?
What do you mean the center of your feet?
Yeah, so the feet, we are connected, everything is connected.
Yeah.
So from your feet actually is the strength of your core.
Yeah.
So your feet are very weak, your core is not good. So if you do exercises in Pilates that is only a stability or balance, you will understand what I'm saying. For example, if you just start to only be stand up with one leg up, and maybe just try to calm down with the core engagement, so you just realize how everything is connected. So from your feet, you will start getting increase of the strength of the core.
Yeah.
So for example, Pilates, we train without shoes, and we do a lot of strength of your feet.
Do you find? I find that shoes is kind of one of the worst inventions to ever happen to mankind, because if we walk around barefoot, our feet was actually meant to grow differently. Like our toes would spread out more, and if you look at natives who spend their lives walking around barefoot, how strong the skin on the bottom of their feet is super thick.
Yes.
And I just believe that shoes is not only have our feet not naturally developed the way they should, but we don't get the chance to connect to the ground.
Correct.
Which is huge.
It's huge. Grounding is huge. Yes.
And I try to tell my friends, spend more time getting your foot on the ground. And they say, we don't believe in that stuff. And you look at all these athletes that do it, the cyclists that get the edge by doing that, and they'll invest in buying these special blankets that will connect to a wire.
Yeah.
And they will sleep on that because it helps give them an edge.
Of course, and it's the connection with the land, So with the connection with the land and the universe, so we really, really have the energy of the divinity with us. So yeah, the thing is we are a little bit scared to try things, you know what I mean? If a person doesn't want to try, it's not the time. But maybe I think people in this year, if you look, people are trying to be more open. So topics like this, maybe just try to be more grounding, just be more connected with the land, with just simple walking by the grass, and just doing more breath workout, just being more connecting with your body, do simple exercises that I say, I work in a gym, but I always say to people, you don't need to go to the gym for be healthy. Actually, many people in the gym, they are not healthy people. You know what I mean? It's excuses, true excuses. The best thing to be healthy is just be connected with your body, just try to move, because we have a body and the body is designed to move. If you don't move and you don't connect with the land, with the motherland, so you are very disconnected, and for the reason you will get sick, and obese, and overweight, and stress. Plus.
I feel like balance is a huge part of it, and it's not just if you go to the gym and all you think about is protein shakes and working out, but you're not out there. You need to be out there getting sunlight and also eating the right foods.
Yes,
that's huge.
Correct.
Because you can do all the working out, and if you're just protein shakes and processed foods and you have to be. I believe that eating natural is.
Yes. You know, it's happened to me. Like, for the reason, it's so funny. I love life. I'm fascinated with life because more mistakes that I've been having in the fitness industry is when I realized, oh my God, everything is so simple. And I was just overcomplicated my life, you know, like counting calories. I passed for all of this stuff. Over working out, that as well is when they show how much emptiness uh, I was having in my life because, like you say, I am immigrant. I don't have family here. So what happened? I start to get obsessed with exercise. Obsessed, like very obsessed. Like I was like living in a gym and try to like have my six pack. Thanks to this, I lose my period. I have very bad problems in balancing my hormones, just because I was lacking of maybe connection with my body, and I just was following diets. I was like very strict with myself. I was living a miserable life. I have a six pack, but what is the cost? For the reason I said to you, don't think that healthy people they're in gyms. Healthy people actually maybe they don't go to the gyms. They spend more time outside doors, go to the beach. We're so lucky here in Sydney, you know, that we have so many beaches. Like when I go to, you know, like for example holidays or something, I never go to a gym. This is the last thing that I want to go. I just want walk, only walk. Walk just is the best exercise. Just have the sun connection, you know, into your skin, vitamin D, and just eat healthy. Is eat healthy as well, but no excess because I was as well very over excess, and I put so much pressure in my mind that everything they need to be organic or everything they need to be so clean. And I am a little bit obsessed with this. I am trying to be more balanced now and more relaxed because what I've been realizing as well is not about what you eat as well, is how is your mind. For example, if I eat something with guilt, you know, like actually this will be something bad in my body. But if I eat maybe not the most healthy food, but I am happy with myself, I have very good relationships, believe me, this food will digest better. So it's like have a good connection with your body because in the end of the day, your body told you everything. You don't need to starving yourself like the fasting. I've been as well like seeing with my own eyes people that get so sick because they're fasting a lot. And fasting is not good for everybody.
Good every now and then. I didn't believe in fasting. I not didn't believe, but I just didn't see the value in it until I did it.
Okay.
And the only reason I did it was because I wanted to challenge myself. And when you start to, it really makes you think about food more and what you put into your body. So after I didn't eat for that week, and I felt so detoxed.
Yeah.
And the first time I did try to eat something bad, I could really feel it.
Okay.
Really feel the difference.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but it teaches you that like, we just, as humans now, we eat out of boredom, right? And so then when we do eat, and we just do it as something to do, you know?
Yes, just because you are bored, you just like when you are bored, look at this. Like when you don't work, you just want eat. Because it's like exactly just feel this emptiness.
Yeah.
Feel this lack of purpose in life. For the reason, I always when I start with a session with a client or something, my first question is, do you know the purpose in life that you have? Because after this, you just will discover so many things that you are using the time that you should use. That every human being, I believe we have a mission in life, using this time to work in the mission and not losing time over exercising, like I was saying to you, or just talking about the other one, or just social media, or just, you know, wasting time doing things that you just do like robots, eating because, yes, I need to eat, it's breakfast, I need to go and eat, it's lunch, I need to go to... No, sometimes I wake up and I don't feel I want to eat breakfast, and that's okay. I don't eat breakfast, I skip. But I listen to my body. Now I don't follow any rule. I don't need fasting if I don't feel I want fasting. Because I need now eat and I listen to my body. So I agree with you, like no for everybody is good or bad, like the fasting. But what I've been seeing now, because everything is trends, you know, and it's fashion. So what I've been seeing actually more people sick is because they are fasting while they are doing a lot of exercise when they have a lot of stress life, you know. So when you fast, actually you have more stress in your body. So what will happen with this? The cortisol will go high. So what will cause this? Inflammation in your body. So I said to everybody, it's not a general rule. I am not saying that fasting is bad, but for not everybody is okay. So this is what we need to learn. Like, listen to your body. Don't listen even to your friend or your brother or your sister, because everybody have different bodies and we need different things. So it's many people that fast all day and they broke the fasting with just burgers or pizzas or
All right.
fast foods.
Intermittent fasting.
Yes,
Yeah,
intermittent fasting, you know. So it's more be conscious and don't put so much pressure in us, because trying to be healthy, we become unhealthy.
Yeah. I think if you try to plan your diets too much, it gets in the way of life. I see my brother, he was calorie counting, and just stick to some basic principles, and you'll be right, you know. Don't load up on carbs during the week. That's my rule. My rule is from Monday to Friday, it just stick with protein and vegetables, and I see my energy system like loading up on carbs. It's like a battery.
Okay.
And so I do a complete deplete of the carbs, and then the weekend comes around and I can just eat whatever I want, and build it up again. And that carb cycling, it really it gets your hormones to just explode, and you make the most out of it. So then come Monday, when I go back to the gym after the full weekend of just loading up, I look jacked. And then by Friday, I'm shrimpy and so. But I've been following, out of all the diets that I've had, intermittent fasting, keto diet, carb cycling, just works out the best.
The best for you.
The best for me. Exactly. And everyone's different.
Everybody is different, exactly. So this is the thing when we get loose, and I get loose like easy just following the tips of influencer, that she have maybe another type of body, and she have different genes of me, and she have different life. It's so many things that we need to look. So for the reason, my advice is never follow any external advice. Just try to connect more with yourself, because you have the truth inside you. Simple like that.
Well, something happened to me last night. My sister was on her way to work, and we had run out of water in the house. And she said, I'm going to go to the gym to stock up on some water. And she said, is the gym water filtered? And I said, I'm pretty sure it's just connected to the tap, right? Because they're not going to spend money on. But she said it tastes different or whatnot. Yeah. Oh. And then I said, why are you so concerned? Why don't you drink tap water? Because I don't drink tap water, but I was just wondering why she doesn't. And she said, because a few years ago you told me that I shouldn't drink tap water. And I said, but do you know why to avoid it? Like, I thought she'd say something about fluoride or, you know, but no, she just said, because you told me not to drink it. So I've just not been drinking it since. And it just goes to show that people, sometimes they just follow advice without doing the research for themselves. So if my friends tell me, hey, you should try this diet or you should avoid that food, I'm not going to take it at face value. Yeah. I will look into it and decide whether if what they said is right.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who says it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like the criteria in life, you know. For the reason it's like, in the end of the day, the truth is inside us, and we just waste a lot of time and a lot of energy, you know, like wasting time in silly, even studies, you know, like the study can say that this is terrible, but who say that this study is not manipulated? So I always say, don't question everything and try in your own body. It works for you.
Well,
that's it.
Science is pretty much a paid for system. If I'm going to hire some scientists to look into something and I'm funding their lab, they're going to try, it's confirmation bias. They're going to run experiments to come up with the answers that I want, and they want to appease me because I'm spending the money, right? So unless it's completely independent research, it's very hard to trust the science.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's simple, it's not complicated. I think just, I don't know. I just realized that I learn more, and I just, in the end of the day, I just need delete and erase a lot of things that I was thinking that I was doing right, and just become to basics.
Yeah.
Like, eat healthy is not complicated. Eat healthy is just eat natural food. Natural food for me is just food that doesn't come in package. Like, instead of buy chips, I buy just an apple, or just maybe just something for a good source of animal protein. Like, try to buy organic food. This is what I try myself. For me, my food is my investment. So I know that it's a little bit expensive, organic eggs, organic chicken, but this is my investment, and I believe in this.
Where do you get your organic food from?
I try to go to the local farms around my house. And the last case scenario, I go to Woolworths because they have a little space of organic. Like, it's very small. But I don't trust. I don't think that the organic is real. But made me feel better, everything is mine. Maybe it's a placebo or something, but buy organic made me feel better.
Yeah.
So, but I try to, the basic, like organic eggs, and as well as support the local farmers, and, and make everything at home. I love cook, and I never thought that I will be able to cook, in Colombia I never cook. But if you want to be healthy, this is another principle. You need to cook your own meals.
Yeah.
You can be healthy and have takeaway.
But
it doesn't work. Why?
It's so hard to buy organic and cook organic and live that when we live such a busy lifestyle.
Yes,
and
I agree.
And I feel that that's the system. The system is designed to keep us so busy that we are just gonna eat shit, and we are not going to work on our personal development, and because we've only got how much free time we have. 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours work, then you've got the commute. If you're going to spend a few hours sourcing the right foods and cooking, you're gonna leave you with such little time. And what are you gonna do with that little time? Well, people just want to watch Netflix, or people want to go to the pub and drink. And when you have that little time, you just tune out. If people can find a way to do something that they love, or just get out of that 9 to 5 work system and find free time for themselves, have passive income or investments, and work less, they'll have that time to find out what foods work for them and what exercise works for them, and to really max out their life.
Yes.
And I feel that when I met you and I've talked to you, that you're that kind of person, that you have that much extra time because you've managed your work life balance ratio so wisely that you have that time to work on yourself.
Yeah, I feel very lucky, but I think as well is like, I was not the person that you, of course, talking today to me. I was like very unhealthy. I was like outside looking skinny, like fat skinny is the name in English, like skinny, fat skinny.
Skinny? Oh, skinny. Fat skinny.
Fat skinny.
Fat
yeah,
skinny.
I was the typical, So I look good with clothes, but you take off the clothes and I have like my body was like fluffy, and cellulitis and all this stuff, and I realized, oh my God, like in the end of the day, I look good, but I feel terrible. I was like with high triglycerides. The doctor say anytime. The doctor say, but this is another conversation. That I don't believe in doctors. But they say you can have a heart attack and you need to, because my triglycerides was very high and all this stuff. Yes, in Colombia, I didn't have a good, healthy lifestyle. I was just drinking. I was just having fun life and eating a lot of no good food, like processed food, right? But in the end of the day, I just decide one day, I say, I wasn't happy with my body. I say, I don't like this, not just for the physical appearance, so this is one point. I feel terrible. I feel just so tired, and I was in my 20s when I started my journey, but I feel like very down. I didn't have energy. I just want to sleep all the time. So when I start to doing little changes, I start learning, and I just get focus. So my focus in life is just have a healthy, balanced life. So for me, everything in my life is around this. All my decisions is have a happy, healthy, and divine life. So when I wake up, I say, okay, I meditate in the morning and I just project my day and just start with different like decisions that make me feel happy and healthy and divine. Every decision, even the conversation that I will have today, I will receive this phone call or no, I will eat this or no, I will talk with this person or no, I will say yes to this job or no. Everything is very coherent or aware about how I want to feel. Yeah. So I think everybody have these right decisions and the right responsibility to build a life like this. It's not for a chance. It's no bad luck or it's no excuses. You just decide.
So you just follow your intuition and you feel like you do what feels right to you.
Exactly.
But it has to align with your...
Align with my core, must me feel good. Every decision must me feel, yes. I don't listen advice for anyone. I just listen myself. And I think this is the right true, it's our true. It's like be coherent and realize that it's my responsibility, my health, my life. Nothing is lucky. Nothing is about luck. It's everything about look in the mirror and say, yes, I am happy with who I am. And I am in the right place. And nobody will make me lose because I don't want lose my time and lose my energy. So I think this is the real happiness. But for be happy, you need to work in this. It's not easy be happy in this world. You need to work.
Speaking of losing energy, do you believe that people can take it? Take your energy? Because I found that recently, like now, when I'm feeling really good and I'm really in alignment and I'm just vibing, if I go out, I feel that so many people want to talk to me and they don't realize it, but they're drawn to me and they're subconsciously. And then I have to be careful with who I talk to, because some people, if you talk to someone and they're lacking that energy, they can really I feel that they can just suck it out of you.
Yeah.
So you have to stay, the people you keep around you want to have them, they've all got to have their own energy source. Like they have to be, because if they're, it's like, for example, certain friends I'll hang out with, and then the second you meet up, they just start complaining, and they want you to listen to all their problems. And by the time you've finished with them and they go home, it's like you just feel so drained. Then what I notice, if I hang out with someone who, even if they have going through a bad time in their life, when they hang out with you, their spirit is up and the conversation is good and it flows, and then I walk away feeling, oh, I had a really good time with that friend. So now I'm starting to really pick who I keep in my close circle. Like, sure, these people, I can have a cup of coffee, these negative people, but that's it. I wouldn't want to spend hours and hours with them. So I'm very carefully choosing my who to keep and which friends to add into my circle.
Yeah. Look, I think that you start to put boundaries or limits, and I think that's great. But I also believe, and it's been experienced actually more this year, you attract. So if you attract a lot of negative conversation, it's something inside you. So you need to still work in things. I believe as well that we attract bad situations. We attract our relationships. So is many people that say that, I have a very bad relationship in my job, right? So you can say, I will stay in this job because maybe it's teaching me something to don't let these energies take my energy. Or if it's too hard for you, so you need actually get away from this job. Right now, for example, I don't know why, but I feel now less negative people around me. I don't have now negative conversations. I actually, every day is amazing. I met amazing people like you, and it's just, it's like living my life in a bubble, because just, it's like the energy, everything you attract. So even if you are receiving a lot of complaining, so maybe it's something showing you that you have still things to fix. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I don't find that the people, everyone's coming and complaining to me. It's just certain people, and
Yeah.
that's them.
Yeah.
That's just who they are.
But you shouldn't feel like attacked, or like the energy of them. They shouldn't really affect you if you are very happy with yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I
No.
think that if you are in a good place and people can complain around you all day, and it shouldn't affect you.
Yeah.
But I guess that's where it's not just about what they say, but it's the vibe that they give out. But yeah, like I said, I mean, like you were saying that, yeah, it shouldn't. If you are that good within yourself, it doesn't matter who you
Yes.
talk to. That's something I'll take on
So
board.
yeah, this is something that we need to learn. It's just when you start working in yourself, focus. Believe me, you will start. You don't see more this conversation. Doesn't happen in your life. Like, believe me, this year has been like, wow, I've been meeting so amazing people. And if you look, my circle changed. Of course, I don't have the same friends when I start. They are completely different circle. And I just realized how amazing people are around, and we are talking the same language. So I think it's just put boundaries when it's affecting you. That's very healthy. But the idea of us, I think, is just, even if you have these negative people, don't let affect, because it's not like you are not connecting. It's like energy, like it's like they're talking another language. So actually it doesn't affect me at all, just
Yeah, I think that's the challenge to be around negative people, but then remain positive. It's like learning to meditate in a noisy place.
Yes,
You know.
exactly. Yes, and this is the idea, because like how easy will be just have a happy, healthy, divine life in, I don't know, maybe in a remote island when it's actually everything peaceful. So
Yeah.
what will be the challenge in life?
Yeah.
And I love challenge. I realizing now that more problems in my life came. I say, okay, yes, I will just actually learn about this. And this year actually was like actually tough for me in many situations, like health, but still I am very happy because I've been learning a lot. Like, thanks to this year, I think I've been growing a lot.
You have to conquer everything inside you. Once you conquer your happiness within, that's when it manifests on the outside.
Exactly, and this is what you receive, attract.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
So let's go back to the doctor conversation. Why don't you trust doctors?
Wow, I don't know. The thing is, like, for me, since like I said to you, I arrived to this country and I went to the doctor and they said, oh, I am terrible and you need so many medications and you need to just be aware because anytime you will have heart attack. So all of this scare me and get afraid. But something happened to me, a click. Maybe because I'm here alone and I have more time to study, like for me, being in Australia is been a bless. It's a gift because I don't have family here. So I have a lot of time to study, to do my research, It was in Colombia. Maybe I will follow the advice of the doctor because I was too busy like partying or, like doing a lot of social. So right now here I am very like, how can I say, isolated person because I don't have a lot of family here. So what I did is, okay, I talked with the doctor and he said, Tara, take all this medication. So I start, okay, wait a minute. I will start to researching what is my trouble, why my body is like this. So I have a thyroid. Thyroid? The people thyroid.
Thyroid.
Thyroid. Yes, I need to show this because nobody can understand. So, thyroid problem, right? So I start to reading about the thyroid. It's a lot of emotional actually. It's I believe all the sickness, or not all, but 90% is like cause for emotions. So yes, I realized like my chakra, my throat was blocked. So I just started to realizing, yes, I have a lot of things that I can communicate since I was little, and I have to work in be a better communicate my emotions and all this stuff. So this one of the part of my research. But after I look, oh my God, food. I am eating a lot of gluten. I'm eating a lot of dairy, a lot of soy, and a lot of alcohol. So I need to cut this because, of course, everything is. And the other part, I was very lazy. I didn't move at all because I was skinny. I was lucky, but my body was like a old woman. So the thing is, like, I start to work in all these areas: emotion, my physical, and my food. And yeah, like it's been 10 years, like working in all of these areas. And now I feel healthier than I was in my 20s.
What's Colombian food like?
Colombian food is a lot of carbs. It's like rice, beans, arepa. Did you try arepa? For sure.
Yeah, I had arepa here in Australia, but I don't think I didn't have any arepa there. I
No
didn't
way.
really eat much food over in Colombia.
You were fasting?
Yeah, something like that. I was on a different diet. I'll let that out.
Bad idea to go to fasting in Colombia.
No, it wasn't. I just had too many vendors and the only time that I would eat was just at the local cafe.
Ah, okay.
And it was just acai bowls and coffee and that's it. I never really ventured out and tried different restaurants. So
that's a shame.
I was just in a gringo area, and that's all I had was. I mean, I did have. There was one sort of Mexican place, but it was
in Colombia.
Like the tacos, street tacos.
You're so funny. You go to Colombia and it's Mexican food. Come on.
But no, I didn't actually have.
You need to repeat Colombia, or let's go to a coffee shop here around. There's a Colombian cafe, and we try arepa. Yeah, so Colombian is a lot of carbs actually. It's a lot of carbs. It's like it's not the healthiest food like Greek cuisine or. But in the end of the day, it's good. It's good food. It's not the best cuisine, I guess. I am not eating more Colombian food here because it's hard for me find ingredients and all this stuff. But yeah, like the thing is like it doesn't matter where are you from. Like you always will eat healthy if you just eat local products, simple like that. And I was eating just packaged, like fast food over there. I didn't have time, or even I didn't have actually no time. I didn't have the idea to be healthy. I just want living my life, surviving like everybody, right? But here I just start to question everything. I say, I want to feel now. I want to feel healthy. I don't want just look good, because it's another thing, like Colombia. I love Colombia, but Colombia is maybe a little bit superficial now. Looking now, like in Colombia, all women they want to look pretty, outside, but they do stuff that actually they are not really healthy. Like for example, taking off the fat here and putting the glutes, like big glutes. they don't want to work out. The lazy area, In Colombia, it's very attractive to have big glutes. I know
the
here.
butt implants.
Yes. So now what they are doing, taking off the fat here. So they need to put in. Actually, in Australia, they do this stuff as well. So like they take off the fat and they put in the glutes, because you won't have big glutes, because it is attractive in Colombia. Maybe here is different. I realized talking with my husband, he said that he hates big glutes. He just wants glutes like nice form, nice shape, but not big. But this is like another thing, like everybody have different definition about beauty.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, in Colombia you are lazy and maybe you just go, instead of go to the gym or just walk around, you just go for massage, So massage and just keep good shape, or go for the lipo. easy. Everybody does lipo in Colombia.
But before I went to Colombia, I was really excited about trying the coffee there because I'm a massive coffee snob.
Yeah.
And I used to be a roaster for a little bit as well. So
Okay.
I know my beans, and I was actually disappointed with the coffee there. And,
I know, that's so funny. Yeah. And it's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're from Colombia. Shouldn't you be more defensive and like on the
No.
coffee? Like,
No.
why do you? Like, I know why the coffee's not as good there, but can you explain to the listeners why the coffee is not as good in Colombia than it is
Look,
outside?
this is I don't know about coffee. Like, believe me, in Colombia I never drink coffee. Never drank or drink. I never like the coffee didn't exist for me. But coming to Australia, I realized you guys are big in culture of coffee. So let's go for a coffee. Like coffee is big here. So I started drinking coffee here, not in Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, what they say, I don't know if it's true. No idea. But they say that in Colombia, because in Colombia I never drink coffee, like I said to you, they say that in Colombia they drink the bad coffee and they export the best coffee. So that's sad,
Yeah.
That you should have the best product and for yourself, right? But in Colombia, yes, apparently they say this. I don't know. But if you experience that wasn't so good coffee, so it's true. Like,
And working as a roaster, the quality of the beans that Australia get are the best because we're the hardest to export to. So we are going to charge the most. So you're going to send us the best product.
okay, look at this money.
Yeah. It's all about the money.
Money. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I am lucky because in Colombia I never drank coffee. So now I am drinking. And when I go to a coffee shop and it's Colombian coffee, I know that it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Colombia, the beans, some of the best comes from Colombia. Ethiopia has good beans. Guatemala. But yeah, it's just funny that they're famous for their coffee, but then you go and have the coffee there and it's subpar.
I know. Yeah.
Not every cafe. There was some cafes that I had were good, but I love my almond milk, and the almond milk there was terrible. So I could never have a really good cup of coffee.
Okay.
What's it? How do you say
Almendras.
Almendras.
Leche de almendras. Yeah.
So then I had to switch to oat because
really?
it wasn't. The oat milk wasn't as bad as
Yeah.
the almendras.
I know. I think we are really lucky actually because when I went to Colombia, I as well struggled because I said to you, I bought dairy now. And the thing is, like when I went to Colombia, I realized first it's so expensive, like have like different options, and it's hard, Here in Australia, you have almond milk, you have coconut milk, you have oat milk everywhere.
Macadamia milk.
Macadamia, yeah.
That's my favorite actually.
Yeah. So.
Macadamia milk.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, tell me about your podcast. How did that come about? How did you start? What do you talk about?
Yeah. Okay, so my podcast was the thing is like in COVID, I was so boring here, I was locked like everybody. So I said, I just want to share all the knowledge that I've been researching to be more healthy. So I just decided one day I start with my first episode. And after my first episode, that was amazing, just grow crazy. And we are more than the 25 countries. And yes, I love it. I think it's like I think that in life, when you know something, you need to share. If you don't share your knowledge, it's waste of time and love and divinity to this world. So for me, it's just simple, like if I do something that made me feel better, I always share. Not saying that I am the 100% absolutely true, but I put over there and maybe somebody will have a better life just with simple tip. So I just start doing daily tips, very short. My podcasts are very short, maximum 10 minutes, but was daily tips about, I start with food, but everything is related with another things. So one day I talk about food, another day I talk about exercises, another day talk about mindset, another day about my experience in our life, because I've been living experience that, like I learn with experience, more than science or studies or things like that. So I've been learning a lot, but it's becoming actually my podcast become more spiritual actually. So everything I just relate with things that happen in my life, and I've been learning how go through. And I always put there and I say, don't believe anything, just put in practice. And it's amazing how people just send me message from around the world and say, oh, look, Tati, thank you, because yes, I start feeling the same, or I start to change my perspective about this, or I am more open, or I am more aware. And this is the way that I think everybody that is looking for have a lifestyle with purpose should do, is give all the knowledge and share to the world. If you know something, you know that the knowledge is not yours. The knowledge is actually from the universe. So all of us, I believe as well, we know everything inside. We just need somebody that remind us. So this is what I do, I just share, and people just feel click with some things, some episodes, and some people doesn't feel it. But it's like normal, I just share. I just love share the things that is been happening to me, and be open and vulnerable and learn with all my mistakes, because I share all the mistakes, and thanks to the mistakes and problems, how I've been going through. Yeah. So yes, I love share experience.
Your spirituality, were you always that way, or was there some turning point in your life?
Well, my spirituality has been, because I am very passion person, and this could be good or bad, because when I start with something, I am 100% or nothing, So I start in Colombia, the spirituality and religion is completely different, right? But now I understand. Before I was thinking spirituality and religion is the same, right?
Well, to me, spirituality is a broader concept. Religion is just a small part of that, and religion's more the practice of believing in something, and whereas it's how would I compare it with religion? You feel like you're a drop in the ocean, but with spirituality, you feel like you're the ocean in a drop.
Yes, agree. The thing is, like, I was going to say to you, because the thing is, when in Colombia, we have like Catholic religion is like 98%. Here in Australia, you have Buddhist, Islam, so many. But in Colombia, you are Catholic, right? So I born in a Catholic family, right? When I came here to this country, like I said to you, I was very lack of many things. I didn't know about my life. I started to discover myself, because I didn't know who was Tatiana, right? So I started with the religion aspect. So because I was like empty here, alone, lonely, whatever. So I said, oh, I need a community. And I started going to the Catholic church close to my house. So I say, it's the way that I will start meeting Colombian people, Latin American people. So I was 100%. So I become Catholic, but fanatic. Crazy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I couldn't picture that.
Oh my God, like this was crazy journey, because I said to you, I am very 100%, right?
Tatiana, the Bible basher.
Yes, I was just like, oh my God, I just become like different. I like, everything was a sin, right? Oh my God, for my husband, because I almost divorced with him, because I was with him, but I wasn't married. So I made him marry me in the Catholic church. Even though I say we are in sin, we even couldn't have like sexual relationships, because I say, no, this is a sin. Oh my God, I feel sorry now for him, because I was brainwashed.
Yeah.
So, like I said to you, I share in my podcast this stuff, because it's being like myself, and I don't judge anyone, because I realize like it's so easy to get manipulated.
Yeah.
And I was one of this person, like was very manipulated, and I was like full or nothing. So everything was a sin. I was in the church every single day. I was doing the rosary every single day. All of this stuff that I was trying to do to find happiness. I just become a terrible person. I just become like
Miserable.
I was miserable life. Everything was a sin. Oh no, I can't do this. I can't have sex because I am not married. All of this stuff because they put in my brain. It's not the fault of the Catholic Church. It was my fault. And I'm very conscious about this. My fault, because I was believing everything. So I was like actually very into the Catholic Church. And long story short, thank God wasn't so long, like it was 6 months, like but crazy. I just say, one day I say, look, this is not working. If I am honest with me, like I showing to my family, actually my family just hate me. Because I said, Tatiana, why you become like this? Like, I was judging everybody. I say, no, you're insane. This is not good. You need to like be better person. I am like, look at me, you know, I am Santa Tatiana. So I say, oh my God, like actually I was like terrible judging, looking at other people more than me. I was more worried about the others. So, and give the power to outside my world. Because this is, I don't think that religion is bad, but for me it wasn't good. Like for me actually give me a damage in my life, you know?
So what maybe happened is that you were identifying with the religion and then you're projecting onto your friends and family?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I lose my identity. Simple like that. I lose myself. So I was just following everything. If the Catholic Church say that this is correct, I need to do this. If the Catholic Church that this is not correct, this is not good. For example, the Catholic Church, they disagree with yoga practice. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I said, no, I can't do yoga. It's a sin. So I stopped doing yoga, you know?
I have some religious friends who say meditating it's,
of course,
it's an evil practice.
Now I realize why.
I was like, what? You pray, you sit there and you pray to God and you empty your mind and you know, that's meditating, right? It's just you calling it different things. When I meditate, I'm connecting to the universe. I'm allowing space for that flow, for that energy to come in. And it's praying, meditating, whatever you call it.
I know. For this reason, I was brainwashed, and I feel a lot of empathy for people like this, you know, because like yes, sometimes like it's depend of the situation, but when you are vulnerable person, you just get manipulated so easy. So this happened to me. But in the end of the day, you know, one day I say this is not working. I just need to be honest with me, and I just like start to hating the Catholic religion. That now is okay. Now I think that was part of my process. Now I just laugh, right? But in the end of the day, I say, it's just stop leaving responsibilities to God. God is in me. I don't need to go to the church for be connected with something, right? And the Catholic Church is not the absolutely true. And living here in Australia made me realize, oh my God, there's so many religions. So what about Buddhists? What about Islam? What about Jewish?
They can't all be correct, right?
Exactly, you know? So yeah, it was a very interesting part. So I stopped, thank God, I awake about this and just start to learning and discovering, like, you know, the universal divinity that this is in you. And doesn't matter which religion are you from, you can have this connection with your divinity that is inside. So yeah, it's been like a journey, the spirituality, and I think that we are all spiritual, yeah, that look, everybody say the same, but it's not be spiritual, it's be more aware, you know, so it's being more aware about every decision, you know, if my toes doesn't define me, you know, like
your toes.
Yes, what I think, my things.
Thoughts.
Oh my God.
I love the accent.
The accent. Oh my God, get ready of this accent, Tatiana.
So
no, I never.
Even my time in Colombia, I still can get surprised with some words that But yeah, my favorite one is that the sheet. Can you tell everyone how you say bed sheet?
Oh my God, no, I never say this word. Nah, I know the accent, right?
So any plans to go back?
Yes, but for holidays I will like.
Have you been back in the last 10 years?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been like 4 times. Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to go to when you do go back?
It depends.
Or do you just go back to see the family and that's it? Or do you go?
No, I actually go to because my husband is Australian, so I always like go and show him a little bit about Colombia, because when he went to Bogota, he wasn't impressed, and I understand, Bogota is Bogota. But I showed him Cartagena. I showed him Cartagena. I showed him Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Cali, Medellin. So I always try to go, and see different places. Yeah. What we can
Do you still do the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah. What is the? How can I find you?
Tati Nutri-Tips.
Tati Nutri-Tips. That's a
Oh my
tongue
god,
twister.
I love the the revenge. Can you talk some words in Spanish for me? Okay, and I can laugh of you too.
Okay, you can teach me. Teach me something in Spanish.
No, what did you learn? Which words did you learn in Spanish?
I always butcher this one, but when I pay the bill, la cuenta por favor. La cuenta por favor. And I think that's the only thing I can remember right now. My favorite word, and they don't even say it over there, is puchecas.
Puchecas?
Apparently that's like an old grandpa way to say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boobies.
Boobies, yeah.
But oh my god, it's been a long time. I forgot this word. Actually, I forgot this word. Yeah, never hear it.
So my ex taught me that word. And I thought that was just the universal way to say boobies. So then when I go there and I say puchecas, I get laughed at.
Of course. And no, if you talk with a young guy, he wouldn't. Maybe they don't know, right? Yeah, because it's all word. I don't know who teach you this word, but maybe an old guy or old woman.
But it sounds like a funny word. Apparently it is a funny word. So yeah.
It is, yeah.
Puchecas.
Did you try ayahuasca in Colombia?
Yeah. That was the main reason I went to Colombia.
Yeah.
So when I first told all my friends I'm going to Colombia, they all just accused me of. They said it's for the cocaine and for the women.
Of course. Yeah.
And the primary reason was I wanted to do ayahuasca, but I didn't know where to go. So I looked up. It was popular in Peru most of all, and then Costa Rica, and then Colombia. And out of all the countries, because I don't want to go there just for the ayahuasca. I want to have a good holiday as well.
Yeah.
So Colombia seemed like the most fun. Peru, not so much, and Costa Rica would just be too beachy, too resort-like.
Okay.
So I felt that I'd get the most adventure going there, and it was about in Fredonia, about over 1 hour away from Medellin, from the city center.
Yeah.
So I just picked that and stayed at Medellin for 1 month.
Okay.
And it was I didn't want to travel too much, so I got there, had a few weeks there, spent a week at the retreat, and then a few nights in Cartagena, and then back to Medellin, then back home.
Okay.
So, but the ayahuasca experience, wow,
Tell me, oh my god, it's like I want to try.
Yeah.
I will definitely. I will be in Colombia, of course. But tell me, how was the experience? Do you feel like different person now?
At first, I was scared because I heard some horror stories, people shitting themselves, but it wasn't like that. No one shat themselves. There's a lot of throwing up, and it took me until the end of the third ceremony before I felt sick. So for the first 3 nights that I did it, I felt nothing.
Okay.
And they were giving me a lot as well. So I wasn't throwing it up at all.
But you feel a little bit dizzy or tired or something? Or like drunk or something?
Yeah, nothing. So
that's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. They thought I was superhuman, I think.
Superhuman. Yeah.
And then I did throw up at the end of the third night, but still there was no connection. So I had a talk with the Taita, the shaman. He said, okay, so for the last ceremony, I'm going to make you a special mix. And it was this sludge stuff. It was so concentrated. And I did the math, and it was about 4 or 5 regular cups of ayahuasca's worth. Wow. Yeah, so I had that, and I did get sick immediately. And but then that was it. I just felt sick. What actually happened was a funny story. So let's see. I got time to tell it. I threw up badly in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So normally people were a bit more discreet, and the whole time I was never throwing up. And when I did finally throw up, I was like, bruh, I didn't see it coming. And there was a lot in my bucket. And I stood up and I had a look outside, and I started to like just connect with the nature. I wasn't tripping out or anything like that. And I felt sick again, and I quickly ran back to my bucket and I grabbed the bucket, but I forgot that I had already thrown up in there. And I've gone to lift the bucket up, and it all went
Disgusting.
all over me. So I ran to the bathroom, and I was sitting there in the stall. Someone came to check on me, and I just said, look, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go back to my room. Or
Yeah.
they said, you can't go back to your room because you've just had a lot of ayahuasca and you need to be supervised. Like, this place was a
Very
professional retreat.
That's right, yeah.
They really looked after you. I wasn't doing it in some
Cheap.
jungle
Yeah.
with the... So they said, look, you can't go back to your cabin on your own, but we'll send, if you want to go back to shower, we'll send someone with you. Just make sure you come back to the group. So I did that, and I was walking back. And one thing that the facilitators do is they don't talk to you. They just sort of leave you. So just in case you're going through something, they don't want to interrupt that process.
Okay.
And I had showered, and I was walking back, and the facilitator's walking with me. And I said, you can talk to me. And he goes, yeah, but I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what's happening inside your head. And I said, no, I'm completely sober now. I'm fine. Like, I've just showered. The medicine doesn't work for me. I don't feel sick anymore. And that's it. And I had given up. And I just thought I'd come halfway around the world.
Waste my time.
Money for nothing. And then we start to chat, and he goes, but it can come in waves. And I just laughed, and I just thought, yeah, right, whatever. So we get back, and then this is the end of it, where we're sitting around, and it's a cleansing ceremony. The tide is blowing smoke and blessing everyone. And I start to feel sick again, and once he comes and he blessed me, as soon as he's walked off, I'm like, okay, that's it. I can go to the bathroom now. And I run off to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I was throwing my guts up again. And then I was just sitting there because I didn't want to go back to the group. And I just gave up. And I thought, okay, well, that's it. It's over now. And I just felt peaceful. And then as I was sitting there and I was looking at the bathroom door and just staring at the wood, I noticed it begin to breathe. And I was like, wow, I can see the wood breathing. And then I looked at the floor, and then I saw holograms of light, like refractions of light dancing around. And I was like, wow. And I'm thinking, now? It's happening now, like after everything. And there was a gap in the wall, like a little crack in the wall, and this light was shining through from the outside.
Okay.
And I was staring into the light, and I got lost in that. And then I had an ego death. That was it. My whole identity was just gone, and I was just my being, my spirit. And so I couldn't, that's pretty much what I came to do the ayahuasca for. Everybody, they wanted to understand themselves, or maybe they had some traumas to overcome. I really wanted to just connect with that higher power at a deeper level. And I felt that. I felt that I was who I am before I came to this earth. And that was it. There was no big epiphany. There was no grand hallucination. the feeling was just completely inside of me, and it was a quiet feeling, but it's something that stayed with me long after I came back, and
So you still feel it? Still feel it or not really?
It's not as strong now, but I can never forget it, and it's life to me is different. I appreciate it more.
After the ayahuasca?
Yeah. Because I don't see myself as this person who's going through a spiritual phase. I now see myself as a spirit having a human experience. And my life is just so precious. And, you know, I'm 40 years old. That's half of my life. And it's gone by just like that. So what am I going to do with the rest of the 40 years that I have left? That's how I see it. And I want to maximize my time now. And I want to shine bright. So I can, you know what they say is that you shine bright so that you give permission to others to shine.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm very active on social media now, and that's why I'm doing this podcast. And I don't care if a lot of my friends think that, you know, I've gone crazy, or some of them say that, you know, my posts are cringy. If I can inspire one person to chase a better life, then it's worth it. You know, and that's why I'm doing this. And that's what I've taken back with me, like from my experience doing the ayahuasca. It's just really inspired me to just live my best life, and that's priceless. And to get that at the 11th hour when I had already given up, it's crazy that I look back and think of it. And
they say that actually the people that have the ayahuasca, they need to have a clear purpose and as to the plan, you know, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, what do you want with this experience? So what's clear because the ayahuasca answered you, because you want this, right? So what's the answer
and
you're looking for?
They say that the plant is intelligent, and I was thinking, no, they'd be like, yeah, my mother ayahuasca gives you what you need when you need it.
Yes.
And I didn't believe that. But then the way everything had happened, and the lesson that I received in the end, and then hearing other people's stories and their experience with ayahuasca was so different and so perfect for them. And I'm starting to believe that this plant is intelligent. You know, it really is. It was a powerful experience, and I recommend it to anyone. If you're ever going to South America, you got to try ayahuasca. Whether you believe in it or not, you have to try it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are here for live experience, right? Yeah, definitely I will. I don't know when, but I will.
It's not the misconception that it's this crazy hallucinogenic psychedelic drug.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all. At least for me, it wasn't. But
have you ever had another drugs before, like hallucinated or drugs?
I tried to do mushrooms and acid to discover myself, but nothing happened. I have a really high tolerance for psychedelics.
I thought you have a lot of drugs, and maybe ayahuasca wasn't nothing for you. Because like with some big doses.
Anyway.
Yeah, look, and then what I say is just simple like that. Like, you don't need even ayahuasca. You don't need anything external for be who you are and understand yourself and understand the purpose in life. It's just only your own decision and just work for this. Because everybody, believe it or not, have a mission. And if you are not doing this mission, you are affecting the development of the universe. So the idea is like everybody start to wondering, what is my mission? It's not come here to have a mansion or pay bills or reproduce myself or have children. No, it's another mission. It's deep.
Yeah.
But you need to work and to find.
That's where I got the inspiration for the name of the show, The Alchemist in the Matrix.
I was going to ask you this. What was the inspiration?
The story of the Alchemist was that Santiago, he didn't have to go around the world to find himself. It was all he had to do was look within. It was there the whole time. And that was my experience. I didn't have to go and do ayahuasca. It was already there. Like the ayahuasca helped, but everything that I was looking for, it was inside of me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's having like another story, but we're not gonna have time for that.
I know. Tell me the story. We don't have time.
Well, so when I was there, there was a pickup point, and where we go for the bus to pick us up to take us to the resort, and had some time to kill, and there was a hardware store. So I go exploring, and as soon as I walk in, there was an array. Sorry. As soon as I walk in, there was an array of plants, and this one little cactus just stood out to me, and I forget what it's called, but it has a green stem and a round ball on top. Have you seen those ones? So it had this orange ball, and the color of the ball looked like the same orange from the book The Alchemist. And I've never bought a plant, never liked plants, and I don't know, I just felt the calling to buy this plant. And then when I had it with me and I was on the bus, someone said, "Oh, you found a plant." I said, "Oh, no, it found me." And someone else asked me, "Are you going to name it?" And that's when I came up with the name Santiago, because of the book from The Alchemist.
The Alchemist, yeah.
And then all of that had happened, and then I just think back of that plant. Like when I bought that plant, I had no idea of the lesson that I was about to learn. So that's a crazy synchronicity, right? That and then I end up calling doing a podcast and then calling it The Alchemist in the Matrix.
That's crazy. It's like when everybody say, where did you have the idea of? It's in Spanish. It's feliz, saludable y divina. So it's happy, healthy, and divine, right? Feliz, saludable, divina. And when I start my journey, and I said, what is the name of this podcast, whatever. And I just see feliz, saludable, okay, makes sense. But I didn't understand the meaning of divinity, divine. I didn't understand. Now I know. But when I start my podcast, everybody say, why do you say? And I say to my listeners, we are all divines, divinos. So I always say, hello, divinos, right? But I never used this word in my life. Never. Like, I don't know, was like, it's like, yes, I say, like, it's the divinity, give me the information. Now everything for me is divinity. But I never use this word. So I start with this word and I say, now everything makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, it's for this reason. It's just when you are more connected, you don't understand the situation, you don't understand the synchronicities. I don't know why I met you, now I know,
Yeah.
Everybody that you met and everything is for a reason. Maybe it's in this life or in another life, but everything have a reason. Nothing is casualty,
Like, life can only be understood looking backwards, but it must be lived going forward.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, I think that's a wrap. And yeah, your podcast is
Tati Nutri Tips.
Tati Nutri Tips. Well, thank you.
But you need to learn Spanish to understand my podcast.
Oh, right, because it's in Spanish. Well, if
this is actually a good, if you want to learn Spanish, listen to my podcast.
Tati Nutri Tips.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on the show.
No, thank you for inviting me. Really, really appreciate it.